This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show at the Whiskey A Go-Go for the second annual Rock Against MS All-Star Benefit Concert. And today I'm with Nancy B. Sayle, founder and CEO of the Rock Against MS Foundation. Tell me about when you were diagnosed.
Well, I was diagnosed in 2009. I knew I had something wrong for about a year and a half, but it took a while to get somebody to actually pay attention to the issues. And after 2009, I then in 2012 ended up also with a diagnosis of a brain tumor. So they don't correlate. And with those two things combined, Rock Against MS started. It's Steve Stevens from Billy Idol and his wife, Josie Stevens, and they're very good friends of mine. And I was sitting at their home, and in the center of Steve's living room is his studio. And I was talking to them, and I said, I need to tell you something, because it was so surreally weird when you're told you have a brain tumor, and it really started with that. And they already knew I had the MS, and Steve sweetly kind of popped his head back up over the soundboard, and he says, we got to do something for you, and I think we should do something like a Camp Freddy, and because I was explaining them the bills that I was having. MS is kind of it's a very expensive disease because it's ongoing, it's constant, and there's a lot of doctors, a lot of stuff you do, and the medications are very expensive. And although I'm not eligible for the medications because they don't work for my version, but you go through all these things. So I'm telling them the whole shebang, and that's how it started. And then he called up Billy Morrison, and they said, we're on. And that year was 2012, and what happened was they went on tour, because Billy Idol goes on tour. October, I had to get then spine surgery. I'm falling apart. And so I had to get spine surgery, and once that was completed and I was healed, it was then January of 2013, and I was like, okay, I have a lot of bills now, and I don't like to ask for help, but I thought, I've done this for so long, and they really want to help, so I just politely did an email saying, hey, I used to want to do this, and they were on, and game's on. So last year this time, they did this for me.
Let people know how you are friends with all these rock stars.
I've been a publicist since 2001, and that's how. Well, I've been around for about 30 years in the industry in general, different capacities. But I got close with a lot of these guys because I became their publicist and their confidant, and I talk with them like every day. It's not like you're just on tour and you're a face going by, humping gear. So that's how we all became very close. And some of them are some of my best friends, and others are just longtime friends, or they're still clients, but everybody just wanted to help. So that's how, that came about. So it was an amazing show.
Now you've turned this into a foundation.
Yes. I decided that after what they did for me, I needed to help others, because it's a debilitating disease. And I've survived a few other things like cancer and that, so I'm aware that nothing's worse than the other in the way. The one difference is that this is kind of an everyday, every second struggle. So it's not like a regiment, and you know what you're going to do, and you know how you're going to take care of it, and specific regimented disease. This is like different every day because it's a snowflake disease, so it's all snowflake disease. It's not everybody has the same version even. We all have 50 symptoms that we all can have, and I may only have 10 symptoms, you may have 20, and you may be in a wheelchair and I'm walking. It's weird, and it's painful, and it's fatigue, and it's this whole thing. So it can take a lot from you, but you have to live with it. You can't escape it, and it declines. There's people losing everything, and I thought, I need to put something together and help other people, because not everybody gets to call up rock stars.
No. By you pulling this together, you're ultimately going to be helping other people that have MS.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a 3-grant system, and it'll be for holistic healing and emergency fund and daily care. And the holistic healing, I know if I could afford to go to yoga a few times a week and acupuncture a couple times a week and some reflexology, I think I would be in much better shape. And it's a cost thing. And although I have a really great health care plan, it doesn't necessarily cover that because it's kind of considered as an extended kind of a care, and they don't cover it. It's not medical, so to speak. So I think that's really important to have. And then daily care, I know I need help daily because your cognitive is affected so greatly and the fatigue. And so it takes us 5 times, if not more, than it would take you to walk across this room and pick up something and remember. It might take me like another 30 minutes because you're gonna, why didn't you pick that up? It's like, it's gonna take me a little longer. And I can't explain it. You have to kind of live this disease to really understand it. So I think that's important to help daily care. And then there's people, of course, in wheelchairs. They need help. And then emergency funds. What if you just stop working and your mortgage is due? And then I want to do a brick and mortar home where...
The Rock House.
Yeah, the Rock House. And it's actually based on We Spark. Wendy Jo Sperberg, the actress, passed away from cancer, but she had started We Spark. And it's an amazing building. And I thought, well, why can't we do the Rock House similar to We Spark? And it's a place to go where you can go do yoga, you can go get therapy, you can go get emotional therapy, you can get group counseling, whatever's needed physically, and every day, kind of like the YMCA. You can go every day and do, at 10 o'clock this is that, and 11 o'clock I can do this, and give you hope.
How have you, as a person, dealt with this? What is your secret to getting up every morning, putting your clothes on, looking beautiful? What is your secret to doing that?
I have you to put my eyelashes on. No, you know what? It's hard. This was a difficult day today. Every day is a crapshoot. So some days I may not even actually get up till noon. Not that I don't want to, I just can't. And other days I'm awake, and if I can get up by 9, it's yay. But I used to get up at 6 a.m. every morning, get to the gym by 6:30, be home by 9:45, then I'd spend 15 hours with my rock star stuff, and then I'd repeat it. And now it's like, can I sleep? Wait a minute, can I wake up? And you're setting all sorts of different alarms. I live alone, so my cats aren't exactly good at this, so I have to set extra alarms and do things and hope I get up. And some days I just have to realize it's okay.
When you were a publicist, let us know about some of the luminaries and how you affected their lives.
Rob Zombie has been a longtime client, and Steve Vai, Mr. Big, Warrant Winger Slaughter. I have a whole slew of guitar gods, and I don't know how I've really affected their life. They seem to like me though, and I've even though I've stepped back a little bit. And I'm now moving forward with working again. But I'm not sure how they gotta like me. They're here and they're doing this. I've got Robbie Krieger from The Doors here. And I wasn't his publicist, but you're like, holy cow. Yeah. And Steve Stevens, who started this, he's playing tonight. He didn't get to play the first one because he had to go to Australia. It was weird, the timing and the whole bit. So he's like, oh my God, I can't even play my own thing, the thing that I, started. And I said, you will. And so I wrangled him. And, so I must have done something with these guys. But it's been interesting. I sat with Glenn Hughes and John Five at KLOS last year. And John and I are very close. He's family to me. And so is Richie Kotzen, actually. But when John was actually, I don't think they thought the impact of what the MS was until we actually started talking about it, and I actually started describing to Heidi and Frank. And during the break, John just reached over and he's just like, this is bad. He goes, this isn't a good, not that he thought it was a good disease, but he was just like, this is not what I thought it was. And because it's a disease that not very many people have.
Autoimmune disorder, correct?
It's autoimmune neurological.
Okay.
Okay, so it's basically, for a better lack of term, it eats your brain and spinal cord. But really, what I mean by that, the myelin sheath that covers our nerves is what gets attacked, and it's our immune system attacking our own body. And when you remove the myelin sheath, just like a cord, if a bunny rabbit nibbled the rubber around the wires, you got exposed nerves, right? So that's what's happening to us. But what happens with that too is neurotransmitters can't shoot, your thoughts don't become complete, you have lesions on your brain. I have 11 lesions on my brain and multiple punctures, like if you took a pin and poked me like that. It's all through my brain, and so I function pretty decently, and that's kind of what it is. It affects people differently. Some people will find out, like Jack Osborne found out he had MS because he was having some eye issues, and so he got his eyes checked. Terry Garr, the actress, she was jogging, and all of a sudden her leg just, went out from underneath her. And so she got checked, and that's how she found out. Richard Pryor had it, Annette Funicello passed from it. Just last year this time, the original drummer of Iron Maiden, he passed away. He was in a wheelchair. And Clive Burr.
I heard that they took care of him.
Yes, and they totally support MS. And he passed away 4 days after his 56th birthday. And then we're at the Whiskey for also another reason, is that 3 days before the show last year, which was literally for me, the Maglieri family, who's iconic because they are the rainbow and the whiskey, and they started rock pretty much out here on Sunset Strip. And Mario's daughter, Penny Maglieri Tuttle, she passed 3 days before our show. And with that said, we didn't know, and they didn't want to tell me because they didn't want to ruin my night. But that family worked that show.
Not only are funds being made here tonight for this horrible problem, but people can also send in donations. So where can they send in donations?
We have a site. It's youcaring.com/Rock Against MS. And what it is our website's not complete yet, so it's not exactly hooked up properly yet. So we started a You Caring page, so you can go on and donate there, and it'll go and drop into the fund directly. It's a PayPal kind of a thing, but it's a nice page and explains the MS and explains what we're doing. And what we're doing right now, this particular show is going to help finish the legal aspects of the grants and hopefully finalize some things with the start of the Rock House. We're just kind of starting because I just came up with that just in the last 6 months. Because I'm always thinking big. Yeah. That's my problem. I'm like, hey, let's do this and take over the world. And it's, but so it's all in that progressive state because it's only been a year since they did it for me. And I then putting my mind to it. And now this is going to be the catalyst to start it. And then hopefully the next time it'll go into literally funding and we'll have the first person to help. I am a friend with Nancy Davis of the Nancy Davis Foundation, Race to Erase, and she's really into the research aspect, and she has got amazing doctors. What's really neat about what she doesn't just raise all this money and just toss it to doctors. These doctors actually have to talk to each other. So part of the deal is, Dr. Joe in Nebraska has to talk to Dr. Mike in Brazil, so there's no proprietary information. So she's probably got more of the cutting edge knowledge of it, but that's I think the best funding. The MS Society puts about 10% of what they fund to research, and I'm not sure where they stand with the research. I haven't looked into it in that regard. I just know that Race to Erase I think does the best with their money, because she doesn't take anything and she just gives. She's just a giver. But that's their real only focus. She really wants that cure. She's had MS for about 25 years herself.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's going to help a lot of people.
Well, thank you, and go rock out, mister.
The Blairing Out Show.